The war in the valley didn't sound like gunfire anymore. It sounded like a long, wet wheeze. Elias sat in the dirt, the copper smell of old blood clinging to his uniform like a second skin. He wasn't just tired, he was so thin. Back home, his 5-year-old son, Leo, was probably eating breakfast, swinging his legs under a kitchen table that Elias hadn't sat at in 18 months. Being a single father in a combat zone is a special kind of hell. You don't just fear the bullet, you fear the phone call your child will get. Elias pulled out the small, plastic superhero from his pocket. The paint was chipping. He rubbed the plastic head of the toy, a silent promise to a boy 3,000 miles away, but the village around him was screaming without making a sound. The good people here were hollowed out. Something had taken their spirit. It wasn't magic like you see in the movies. It was worse. It was the old, witchcraft their kind. They uses fear as a blade. A local cult leader, a woman the villagers called the Bone Mother, had poisoned the wells with hemlock and nightshade, inducing hallucinations. She had convinced the village that their firstborns had to be given back to the earth to stop the drought. Elias watched from the tree line as the good people, broken by hunger and fear, their own children toward a pit lined with sharpened stakes. The air was thick with the stench of burning hair and bitter herbs. The soldiers in Elias's unit refused to move. They whispered about curses. They whispered that the Bone Mother couldn't be killed by lead. Elias stood up. His knees popped. His back ached. He didn't look like a hero. He looked like a man who had seen enough. He checked his sidearm not because he thought it was holy, but because he knew that even a witch has a heart that pumps blood. He walked into that circle of fire alone, his boots crunching on the ritual bones. The fight wasn't clean. It was a chaotic scramble in the mud. Elias took a jagged ritual blade to the side as he tackled the Bone Mother away from a shivering 6-year-old girl. He felt the cold iron slide between his ribs. The poison on the edge of the blade hit his system instantly, a burning, black fire in his veins. But Elias didn't stop. He used his last strength to pin the cult leader down and signaled the villagers to run. He broke the psychological spell by showing them she could bleed. As the village elders finally found their courage and rushed to save the children, Elias collapsed into the black mud. The good people surrounded him, weeping, trying to plug the wound with their hands. Elias just shook his head. He pulled the plastic toy from his pocket and pressed it into the hand of the little girl he had saved. The sky above the valley turned a soft, bruising purple. Elias closed his eyes and, for the first time in years, he didn't hear the drums. He heard the sound of Leo's laughter. He died in the dirt of a foreign land so that 30 children could grow up to be parents themselves. He was a soldier who lost his life, but a father who saved the world. Elias proved that the only thing stronger than a curse is a father who has nothing left to lose. This is the reality of the silent hero. There are people who face true evil every day because they know what it's like to love. Tell us what you think. Do you think Elias knew he wasn't coming back? Comment below and like the video if you believe in sacrifice.